Okay, okay. It looks like I'm live. Um, I'm trying to figure out. I'm doing this for my webcam, so this is gonna be pretty interesting. Nobody's in here, so it's really hard to see. Um, what is going on? One second. If you in here, you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or give me something in the chat. But anyways, want to talk a little bit about what what we've seen over the past. If you in here, I see one person, I don't know who that is, but if you could please give me a something in the chat that you can hear me. And can you hear me on this particular mic? That's what I'm trying to find out. This is my first time going live for my actual somebody gave a thumbs. I have no idea. I'm blind. Leave something in the chat for me so I can see. Um Hopefully it pops up. But anyways, want to talk real quickly about the article I just read. There was a toddler, 3 years old. Okay, thanks, Doug. I appreciate that. Um, I want to talk about a an article that I just read. In Florida, a 3-year-old toddler found the parent found his parents' gun, his dad's gun, and turned it on himself and killed himself. Of course, this wasn't a suicidal thing. This was a pure negligence type of thing. And if you haven't seen it, all you got to do is Google it. But here's the fascinating thing about this, right? Here's the fascinating thing um, about this kid. About not the kid, but the details surrounding what actually happened. Okay, so the kid was home with his 16-year-old sibling who was watching him while the parents were out shopping, right? The 3-year-old goes into the room and finds the gun and then turns the gun on himself and then kills himself. Now, here's the thing. The dad is a corrections officer, okay? Which I'm thinking he's had some kind of weapons training or weapons safety, right? So his dad is a correction officer and the gun was staged. I'm not going to say stored because there's a difference between being stored and staged. There's a huge difference in that. Okay, but this kid went into a nightstand and got a gun out. This gun was not secure. This gun was didn't even have a trigger safety lock, and it was completely loaded. Obviously, right, with a round in the chamber. Now, the dad's reason. Wait till you hear this. The dad's reason for um the dad's reasons for not um, having it in the safe is because the safe for the bedroom did not work. Now, after this incident, when the police came, they found another gun that was staged in the house on top of the refrigerator. Neither that had a trigger lock or anything like that. This gun was just out and it was in the open and it was loaded. So, one of the things that really bothers me when these things come up is like, how can people be so negligent? That's why I tell people all the time, I believe in the Second Amendment. I think if you're in America and you can exercise your Second Amendment right, by all means do so, right? However, I don't believe that everybody should have a gun. One, you got a criminal element. Two, you have mental health element. And three, what I like to call morals and character, right? And responsibility. People who are not responsible should not have guns. This is plain and simple for me. Okay. So when it comes to this particular case, this is pure negligence, and it does make the gun community look bad, right? I mean, who in their effing right mind would say, "Oh, I'm going to keep a loaded gun in my nightstand"? And I talk about this in my class all the time when I talk about safety, and I talk about there's three rules that I teach, and and that third rule is keep your gun unloaded until you are ready to use it. Right. So that means you keep your gun unloaded. Let's say you went to the range and you fired it or whatever, and you came home, you cleaned it. You're not going to use it, and then you put it in a safe. Right now, I always explain at this point what's the difference between staging and storing a gun. Some people seem like they don't understand the difference, right? Now, if you're going to store a gun, you're going to put it in a locked place, okay? If you're going to stage a gun, which a lot of people do in America, right? And there's nothing really illegal about that. But if you're going to stage a gun, you need to um you need to know who's in your house, who has access to the gun. You need to know how your house is set up. You need to know the condition of your gun. You need to know this stuff. Now, I always give the example of me and my wife. Me and my wife, um, we are not we don't have any kids and we don't have any pets as well, right? However, every night we stage our guns. I put mine on my nightstand, she puts hers on her nightstand. But when we get up in the morning, every single morning, we take those guns and we put them in our safe and we lock them away, right? Because we're no longer using them at that point. Now, of course, yeah, I got a concealed carry gun that I keep on me all the time. But the guns that we use every day for our home, or every night for our home defense, we store those guns away when not in the house. Why? Because if you're gonna have uh if you're gonna oh excuse me, we store them away because if someone breaks into your house, right? If someone breaks into your house, and I know in our state of Washington, if someone, especially in Oregon, if someone breaks into your house and they take your particular gun and they do something bad with that gun, you could be, or you may be very liable for whatever crime they may commit, right? For community endangerment as such. See what I'm saying? You could be responsible. So even if no one lives in your house, when you leave your house, put your gun up, man. Put it up. And I don't mean just put it up, I mean lock it away, right? Douglas said, same here, because if someone breaks in, it's your responsibility. Now, I heard the sheriff's talking about this, and he said nothing in the law book could punish the family as much as they're being punished right now. And that's absolutely true. You get to lose your 3-year-old to a negligence, um, to something negligent that happened. Now, let's talk about this for a second. Let's say, for example, let me see. Someone was at his house. Like there was another kid at his house that was staying over or something like that, right? Let's take that for an example. And if there was another kid, let's say the friend or whatever was there for his 16-year-old or something like that, or the 16-year-old was babysitting another person's kid, and that baby went in there and did the same thing that the 3-year-old toddler did and killed themselves, this family would be extremely liable for the death of that particular kid. I know that makes sense to a lot of people. It should make sense to everyone, right? So this is a horrible situation, man. It's something that just, you know, this is the first time this has happened. It really baffles me how people can be so negligent when it comes to um handling their firearms, when it comes to storing their firearms. It just doesn't make plain sense to me anymore. Um, so if you have it, go ahead and Google 3-year-old toddler. Um, Go ahead and Google 3-year-old toddler um, shoots himself with a gun in Florida, and it should come up. Uh, this is kind of horrible. I mean, be honest with you, I don't understand it, to be honest. I just don't understand it. So, if you haven't, if you guys got any questions or you want to leave any of your comments here at the bottom, by all means, please do so. I am finding that going live, and this is my first time live on my on this actual platform. Douglas says safes are expensive, but not as much as defending oneself. You're exactly right, Douglas. But to be honest, there's some safes and some ways to store a gun that are actually very inexpensive. Even if they bought, think about it, even if they would have bought a what do you call those things? If they would have bought a simple, fiber case, a plastic hard case, and put that gun in and lock that gun away, this would never happen. The kid probably picked the box up and start running around. But even that's inexpensive. You can buy one of those from your sporting goods store. Um, you can buy one of those at your sporting goods store for what? About 20, 30, $40 at the most, right? So yeah, I safes, as far as like having big safes with a lot of guns in it, those big heavy ones, the nice steel ones that you can get. It sounds like they don't even need nothing like that, right? So What it sounds like they need is um just something, a mechanism to keep the gun safe away from kids and away from toddlers. So it's just horrible, horrible situation, man. Any other questions while we're here? Again, I'm finding that that this this live, it's much better for me to go on sometimes to get streams of thoughts out, and apparently it saves as an extra video. So be safe, man. Learn gun safety, embody gun safety. Put your what do we want to call it? Put your whole focus on learning safety. It may sound simple, but I'm telling you, it causes I say this every time in my class. It causes catastrophic consequences. When you don't obey even one of those safety rules, it can be catastrophic. And in this case, the person did not um store their gun properly. That is not okay. Complacency kills. I absolutely agree. It's kind of funny, man. We just talking about this. One of the things I noticed too, like there's some people in the community that they will how can I say it? They're so worried about shooting the gun and having the best shit and having the best, pistol and how it looks and how it feels and the trigger and all this shit. And their minds have been consumed by so much YouTube bullshit and all the things that they fantasize about, wish they can do, and how they look with a gun and how they feel with a gun. That sometimes I'm talking about people who are beginners who learn this stuff from the internet, right? These people most times are some of the most complacent and negligent people that you can find on the planet. I hope I mean, I'm just being honest about it. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people are. Okay. So, anyways, I'm gonna be doing more live content here. I see that sometimes I would do a video and I would do some dry fire stuff. So it looks like I can do it on live here on YouTube. But stay tuned. It's Black History Month. Now I wanna preface something. If you haven't seen my Black NRA supporter video, talks about white supremacy and the basis of having guns. I need you to go look at that. Be open minded. It's not what you think it is. Believe me. But I'm going to use this live platform to um, start to talk about that in as far as a Second Amendment gun rights advocate thing. And it's a conversation that I would say my liberal friends don't want to have with me. So, anyways, I'll keep it at that. If you haven't already, go back, find the Black NRA supporter. Um, if you just look on my page, it should start with Black NRA supporter. Talks about white supremacy and the need for guns, something like that. I can't remember the title, but thank you, Doug, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I think I got a beep. Something happened. I don't know if someone showed up or what, but I got a beep. So, anyway, stay tuned. Hopefully, you can hit that like, subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell to know when I'm going to go live. So, peace and blessings to everybody, man. Y'all have a good Sunday and have a good week. Peace.